Remember, this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how to make your own viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me. My mangas have got me on TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone. And now, you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made and is live now on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 of you incredible fans to watch after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description. Enjoy.
Die! Vegito. So our story continues with the stunning image and throwback of Ultra Vegito and the former Grand Priest Dai, facing off once again, but this time in the demon realm. As now both sporting all new forms, Dai with his four-winged Saiyan Seraphim form, and the God Killer with his four-winged third eye form. A rematch to surpass all rematches was about to begin. But not without some questions being addressed first, as looking coldly to his former greatest rival, Vegito would ask, "So Dai, as good as it is to see you again, exactly when are you going to explain yourself? Explain why an angel like you could possibly be here. If I remember correctly, I've already beaten you. You should be dead, not alive and kicking here." You beat me? How bad is your memory, mortal? But scoffing immediately at Vegito's words, now triggered, Dai would respond swiftly. "You did not defeat me at all, Vegito. If anything, you were beaten. I survived your little final energy attack. Both of us using Lucifer's power in the end to fight each other. But then again, perhaps you fell unconscious in your weakness afterwards, not able to see my victory. I was still standing, and I remember leaving you on the floor." Before Dai would then begin tightening his fist, clearly uncomfortable, as he would begin explaining, "After your defeat, I was left with not only my half of Lucifer's power, but the half that existed in you too. I absorbed it from your blast, just as I had warned you from the beginning. A foolish mistake on my behalf indeed, thinking I could contain such a demon like my own brother. As always, I fell for his plan hook, line, and sinker. He took control of me, made me use my own hands to create 2 new demonic royal guards for Zeno-sama, and by my hand indirectly had them murder my god. You know all too well what it's called when you betray a god. Don't you, Vegito? Cardinal sin! As suddenly now muttering out the long-forgotten sin Vegito was told he had committed right at the beginning of the series, the pieces of the puzzle would begin to fall into place, as Vegito would scour his brain thinking, "Yamoshi said this. I remember now. Those who have committed a cardinal sin, when they die, they would go neither heaven nor hell in the afterlife. they would end up in the demon realm. So it's a god's betrayal. That includes killing one. But could that also mean...
Exactly that! As Dai, now confirming things, would add on, as an angel, the minute I had betrayed Zeno, whether under Lucy's control or not, I was forced to be erased by the law of the angel code, set forth by the higher gods. But erasure or not, my fate in the end for my cardinal sin would all be the same. Forced to spend eternity with the demons themselves. A fate far worse than even nothingness. As behind him, thoughts would run through his mind of the traumatic final moments of Season 1.
Wait a minute!
But on hearing Dai's full explanation, an entirely new thought would burst through the God-Killer's mind, as he would yell,
"A cardinal sin, even when it comes to an angel's erasure, would bring you down here! But if what you're saying is true, shouldn't he be down here too? Shouldn't we?" Silence!
But before Vegito could even come to a conclusion on his thoughts, a now enraged Dai, having had enough of the recollecting, would instantly burst into a barrage of Saiyan lightning. As with his fanged teeth, he would yell, "Mother is watching us! Watching me! She expects nothing but success. I cannot be a failure. I cannot allow you to disturb Lucifer anymore. You die here, Vegito. You die here! As instantly, just like that, exploding forward with the same anger and vitriol he had back in the final battle at Zeno's palace, Dai would once more rush in to finally put an end to the God-Killer. This time driven by the wishes of his mother, rather than his role as the Grand Priest.
Guess that'll be a thought for later.
But grimacing back, forced into battle mode and panic, Vegito would grumble,
"First it's time to deal with you. You're right. I guess I didn't win last time. But if you used Lucifer, then neither did you. Come, Dai. Let's really put an end to this."
As finally bringing out his signature smile and launching his fist out, the God-Killer would put himself ready into fighting stance. His blood-red wings flexed out as if to make him more intimidating like an eagle before...
Die! God-Killer!
And with the two emulating their first fight, screaming each other's names, Red versus completed Seraphim, their two devastatingly powerful auras would be seen briefly flying straight at each other until... Their first collision would result in the angel Dai's shin smacking right onto Vegito's elbow, both teeth gritted on impact. But the God-Killer's next attack would prove more successful, immediately landing a flush punch on Dai's gut, causing the angel to finally again show his blood, spilling by force from his mouth.
How dare you!
But eager to not let things go the wrong way, Dai would recover fast, pulling his left leg back immediately until...
He's strong! bringing it across to slam straight on Vegito's face, smacking his cheek to the side, while the God Killer's wide eyes would show even he would be surprised with the former priest's increase in strength. And the attack would seem even stronger than first thought, as rotating at speed, Vegito would be sent for a spin in the distance. Just you wait and see, Dai! I've got so much to catch you up on! But mid-twirl, suddenly Vegito's eyes would begin to glow bright. Before the fast spin would then speed up even more, purposely to create what looks like a mini tornado. Blood red, taking on completely the color of his demonic wings. I know what you're trying, God Killer. Don't think that will work on me, fool! But somehow, seemingly already prepared, Dai would be unfazed, moving himself into position before... As just like that, in a fascinating show of their wings, Vegito would unleash from his spin a barrage of energy-laden feathers that would shoot out, but interestingly, Dai too at the same time would answer back with his own Saiyan feathers. The end result being a clash of powerful energy, as they would equal each other out. The exchange resembling more a trade of ninja stars from another anime. Gah! You will not beat me! Not now! Not ever! With Dai's emotion and eagerness for victory getting the most of him, as he would scream out focused entirely on continuing the energy trade. But with such focus above, and his vision being increasingly obscured as smoke would be produced from the explosions, he would seem completely oblivious to the God Killer already making a swift move behind with speed. Wait! You! But it would seem eventually, perhaps too late though, sensing the minor movement in wind and the dirt on the ground, Dai would finally turn his head in panic, sensing the Saiyan. Making the same mistakes as last time, Dai! Don't let me down like this! As Vegito, now brazenly moving already almost right behind, would taunt the Divine Angel as he would do so. Always watch your back, Angel! As now moving forward with his fist clenched, Dai would know already it would be too late to do anything about it, with panic strewn across his face until... With an earth-shattering punch right on Dai's vertebrae, Dai would be left screaming in agony while simultaneously frozen in place, paralyzed, not having felt such pain since his last battle with Vegito now so long ago. He would visibly be completely unused to it. Oh, Dai, you scream just like when you were a baby. But of course, while the two would be battling to the death, at her leisure, a certain someone else would be watching from afar completely at ease. Some things never change, do they, son? As of course, it would be the so-called Mother of Angels, Dai and Lucif's mum, smiling away, holding on still to her now refilled glass of wine, as she would continue to comment, "You really are going to fail again here too, aren't you? My oh my, just how did Lucif come out as perfection, while you can't even deal with a mere mortal? Soon,
I will no longer be able to accept you as my son, my little failure.
Mother, stop!
Being overheard immediately by Dai, who looks back in frustration before...
You're making me look bad, God Killer! Just die!
Before that frustration would turn to pure rage, and rage aimed solely at Vegito, linking his mother's detest with him, being all because of the God Killer.
Watch me, Mother!
And screaming out for his kin, Dai would burst into yet another power-up, his energy seemingly never-ending with his new motivation and his long white hair now forced upwards. And from afar, as Vegito would watch silently, all he would see is the giant column of energy emanating from Dai shooting into the sky, almost too theatric, as if just to impress the final Demon Emperor. But suddenly, a blur would shoot out from it, instantly leaving the God Killer caught off guard, as even he can't quite believe Dai's change in speed. Now literally just inches away already, with his momentum forward, showing zero signs of stopping anytime soon. And in a brute attack unlike the Divine Angel, Dai would smash his head right onto Vegito's chin, flying past regardless, like an unstoppable train, as Vegito's body would be left trailing behind. But as Dai would reclaim position above, Vegito would eventually land, still conscious and still intact.
That was unexpected. My jaw damn near came off.
This last attack leaving Vegito grabbing at his jaw, rubbing away the blood which would now fall from his lip. Soon slowly turning around, before with a smirk back on his face, the God Killer, impressed, would concede.
Unbelievable, Dai. You've gotten strong. Way stronger than before. Even when you had Lucifer, you never had speed like that. Bravo.
Finally, a compliment worthy of the divine. As a smug-looking Dai, looking down at his prey and grinning, would respond, "Of course I would be mortal. What else would you expect from a god forced to train for the first time? My rate of improvement is on an entirely different level than you could ever imagine. The same goes for my brother."
Oh!
Piquing Vegito's interest as he would reply,
"So you've got the same talent as Frieza then? At your level, that's just plain scary. Good thing I found you before it was too late, huh?"
Do not ever compare me to that lowly emperor. As now folding his arms, beginning to recover from his mother's scathing words and the confidence he would have in himself, Dai would continue. "But I'm afraid, dear mortal, it is already far too late."
Die!
But all talk would come to an abrupt end once a certain screeching voice would be yelling from afar and directly to the former priest.
Die!
Mother! It once again being Lucifer and Dai's mother, as with an unimpressed look, she would let out, "What are you doing? Folding your arms and smiling as if you have already won. Have you not learned yet from your past failures? You are nothing. You will remain that way until this mortal dies. Now kill him, scum! Make Mama proud!" As now suddenly screaming with even more rage, an ugly side showing itself, the mother of all angels would order her son to finish the job, smashing her beloved wine glass in her palm in all the excitement. I am nothing. Nothing until Vegito dies! Instantly pulling back down Dai's mood, abused emotionally in every capacity, as his once smiling face would droop down immediately. This won't do! This won't be enough! It's time I showed you and Mother all that I can do, all that I am capable of! As now unleashing a roar more befitting a demon than angel, Dai would become encapsulated in what looks like a spirit bomb of energy. Totally concentrated with divine energy, the entire landscape would rumble, shatter, and begin to tear apart from his power alone. While Vegito, just ruining his earlier compliments, would just mutter while covering himself, "Should have never told this angel he was strong! Now he's going to take it too damn far!" Just how I like it. But of course, with his typical Saiyan attitude running through his veins, all this would do is intrigue the God-Killer even more, as grinning from ear to ear, strangely, his third eye on his forehead would begin to glow mildly until... Without warning, in completely un-Dragon Ball-like fashion, the God-Killer would not wait at all for Dai's giant power-up to even finish, instantly blasting out a laser beam from his forehead Kazuya style. The pin-sharp beam seen exploding through the air from the ground right up to the silhouette hidden within the sphere of energy above. What? Taking Dai by complete surprise, as from within, he stalls his power-up and instantly reacts. But of course, with his newfound speed, the angel would be quick to dodge, instantly moving his body through his own energy to escape. Vegito's beam in the meantime, cutting through Dai's left-behind aura as if it were nothing to begin with. Sorry, Dai. Mummy issues or not, things are about to look a whole lot worse for you. As immediately following this, Vegito would violently move his head from side to side in all directions, blasting a barrage of laser beams, all with the aim of shooting down Dai. But regardless, with the nimble and expert movement you would expect, no matter how many beams Vegito would let out, Dai would manage to effortlessly fly between and dodge them all with such speed he would even leave behind after images, the scene looking like a family of butterflies in the distance. Fine! It's time I removed you from Mother's sights anyway! But in his final dodge, he would be seen flinging to the side, with his left arm taking precedence.
a strange energy and movement in his palm until... It is finally over, God Killer! A befitting end for you! As suddenly lifting his arm straight into the sky, for some reason, Dai's tone would be full of confidence. And with this new development, Vegito would put a halt to his beam barrage. A look of curiosity on the Saiyan's face as he would think, what is he doing? Isn't that... No. There's no way that works down here, does it? Divine Smite! As unbelievably bringing back an angel technique not seen since many, many chapters ago, the ultimate angel would unleash the unthinkable onto Vegito, and emanating a blinding white energy from his palm, he would summon a demon's greatest fear. And in a flash, just like always, from the sky itself, a divine light of erasure would descend down immediately over the God Killer. And with his eyes wide open, and his body already completely lost in the bright light, Vegito would immediately have PTSD back to the last time he was struck by just the same technique. Muttering, No! Not again! Not again! And to that end, at the very last moment, unlike what happened last season, Vegito, with all his might and his body outstretched to the max, would jump to safety, as in an almighty display behind him, the enormous white light would crash down into the ground, erasing all evil it would touch. Vegito's jump being so last minute, and with such force, he would be left to crash onto the ground, skidding by his front. But with an angered look, his eyes would tell the story of his feelings, as looking behind he would mutter, To think you still had access to that. I fought so many demons, I completely forgot what you damn angels were capable of. Before, with his teeth bared, he would inquire, How the hell is a divine smite even possible down here? The smite sends you down to the demon realm, but we're already here! What gives you, clown? Good memory, mortal. But just smiling his way back, Dai would expand. You are correct. Normally, a smite would send evil scum like you down here where you belong. But in this case, hitting you with it now would just send you back all the way down to Sector 10, where every throne you left behind has been filled by a new demon emperor, and thus another long journey back to me. What? You've got to be kidding! This revelation instantly striking comedic fear into the God Killer, as he absolutely laments at the very idea of having to traverse the demon realm all over again. Before Vegito would eventually then let out a small deep breath, muttering, I was enjoying this little get-together, Dai. But now that I know that you could do that, you're a threat, and that means you die! As suddenly bursting open his eyes finally, Vegito would reveal his black and red seraphim eye form, just like Vegeta had tapped into. But that would not be all. As suddenly from the very roots of his demonic red wings, a dark black spawn would begin to grow, instantly morphing the color from red to a dark grey. This darkness! It feels like... Shocking die in the process, as soon Vegito's energy signature and aura would begin to remind him of a certain someone. Like Lucifer! Time to show you and your mother there's more than one devil to fear! As now smirking with both wings now completely blackened and an entirely new level of power using Kazuya's strength would be shown. The only question is if Dai would even be able to keep up. No! But as we would leave one demonic Saiyan back with another, Vegeta would be left panicking at what he would witness before him, having just seen the shock final devil trigger forms of Virgil and Dante. No! What? Trunks, did you know about this? And equally as gobsmacked would be the other two god killers, Trunks and Goku. As Trunks now looking back to Goku would respond, "No, Goku, I never saw them fight in my timeline, but I did fight Lucifer, and these guys seem stronger! It doesn't make sense!" I knew it! But Goku immediately slamming his fist into his palm in frustration would experience a sense of deja vu as he would grumble, "This is just like when the other Trunks warned us of the androids. Our timelines was way stronger than his too. Just our luck." Oh well, either way, we have to win this! As Goku in response, not allowing himself to be disheartened, would ultimately still duck down into fighting stance. But such unbreakable will would seemingly all come crashing down as Goku would suddenly freeze on the spot, sensing a change in the situation. As in a horrifying sight now right behind them, despite its gigantic size, the devil-formed Dante would be undetected to even Goku and be at the backside of both God Killers. Do you really think there's any point in trying now, Son Goku? Stay down! As in a flash, with no warning, with just as ridiculous speed as before, Dante would unleash a horrendous elbow straight onto Goku's cheek. Sending our hero into the distance before crash landing onto the ground, skidding across the floor by his front, before ultimately coming to a stop and immediately in base form, with his two wings retracted. Goku! Kakarot! Leaving both Godkiller Trunks and Vegeta stunned in different ways until... You'll pay for that! Until, like on instinct, Trunks would jump up behind Dante, ready to get revenge. But unbeknownst to him, the other brother, Virgil, would already be on the move too. Come here! Instantly grabbing Trunks' entire face with his oversized palm, as if he were just an unruly brat before. Die, stranger! crashing Trunks back down despite his momentum, right onto the ground for a devastating collision, leaving just a plume of smoke now in front of the two devil guards to rise. Until finally, all that would be left of Trunks would be his own unconscious body. Back in base just like Goku, 2 God Killers down, and in just 2 hits. Now, what will you do different, Prince Vegeta? As in a diabolical final scene, both brothers would turn around to the final God Killer left on the battlefield. No! It can't end like this! As left completely bewildered, with everything having changed so quickly and so drastically. New form or not, Vegeta would have next to no options. What are you panicking about, clown? This just means it's time to use more of my power. Give in, my dear vessel. That is until Vegito himself, from what seems inside of Vegeta, would begin talking, and in a very Lucifer-esque manner. What does this mean? Find out next chapter. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag vessel in the comments down below and let me know just what Vegeta will possibly do now that he's all alone. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.